All right, welcome back again to Brown Neck Reviews, and I am that guy from Brown Neck Reviews. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about my Serpent F110 SF4. So, RCF1 racing's been around for a while. I think Tamiya came out with the Road Wizard back in the 70s, and there may have been some other models similar to that. But they're basically a pan car with an F1 body slapped onto it, and and that's basically what you got. This car is I guess a little bit unique in that design regard. So up until this point, um, Serpent, well, most F1 RC car makers have been making the car with a wing that is attached to what's called the motor pod on the car. But I think in 2018, Serpent said, you know what? We want to make that wing not connected to the car so that when the suspension goes up and down, the wing doesn't move up and down with it. It's independent of that rear suspension. So you can see right here on the rear, when I move the suspension on the rear, the wing stays in place and it's in line with the body. All right. So that was basically the major innovation for this car, and one of the reasons why I bought this one instead of like a Tamiya or any other car during that time. So just wanted to give you a quick run through on the car itself. All right, so this is it right here. The livery is a Martini livery. An interesting note about this body: I had gotten this body used with a part slot for another car actually, and it was already painted like all white. And I went down to I think at the time there was a RC car store in Las Vegas, but they're no longer in business. But anyway, they had this sticker set that was on sale at the time for like $10. So I bought it, and it's the Martini sticker set, and I'm actually a big fan of the Martini livery. So that's why I got it. And the car was already painted white when I had received it. And all I did basically was paint some black around here to give it a little bit of form, right? And apparently, the sticker set for the car was an actual car that was racing during that time, and so that's why it's on here, and it just all came together pretty nice, I think. But I mean, not bad for someone's throwaway body and a discount sticker set. But anyway, this is the car right here. All right, so I just wanted to give you a little look see on how it looks, and I wanted to go over the actual chassis and what it looks like underneath, right? So take that off right there, set that aside. So this is it right here. Okay, it's all carbon fiber and aluminum. So you can see, with the Serpent quality that went into it, because Serpent basically made a lot of high-end RC cars, and their machining, from what I've seen before, has been pretty much second to none. I mean, their cars are just like, when you talk hobby grade, they're a hobby grade. And you can see it has the mono shock up here for the rear engine pod, and they did something different with the side. Usually, you would have, I think, a flex plate that would connect on the chassis, but they put like springs on there on the side there for the side to side movement of the pod. Okay, so I don't know if you could see that right there, but I think there's got a little spring in there. All right, like a little shock, and that's a little bit different than what I've seen. And also their chassis is a little bit narrower than what I've seen also. But the design of this particular F1 was so different that it really caught my eye. And I think that when it first came out, it was really on top of those races just because of that design of that wing. Where now you can see here, it's a little bit closer look at the way it works. You see the motor pod moves totally independent of the wing itself, right? Ever since then, I think a couple other manufacturers have adopted that style of chassis where you have that wing mounted differently. And this car is, the first, I think the first of its kind, with that specific design. So, and it's a carbon fiber mount that goes on there. So my personal car, this one has a gear differential, and I think at the time they were they were racing these and they were using rubber tires because usually F1, with pan cars, they're going to run foam tires, but this class actually required their use of rubber tires on there, and it was mostly run on carpet. So I'm running a gear differential on here, and I forgot it's an aftermarket gear differential that I put on there, but it seemed to work fine, when it was on the track. And so, just another look at the chassis itself and the way I have it set up. Got my little short servo on there, and then I'm running a my receiver right here. This is a SR2000 receiver, and I've got my antenna laid down because I didn't want it to go through the body. So if you can see that right there, okay. Also running an Orion speed control on the side right there. It's mounted to the body with servo tape, and of course I ran all my wires right there. The battery has to go in underneath, so you gotta basically unscrew it right here, and then that whole plate comes off to mount a battery, and it's a shorty battery. So they have different weights of this battery mount because some people like to run a heavier weight on there. So I don't know. I'm not too big on that, on how that works. And also I'm running a heat sink. That heat sink is from Exotech, and I think it looks pretty cool hanging out in the back. It looks like it was probably designed for that. And I think the motor in there is a Phantom 21.5. So, but yeah, that's it right there. There's the rear end for you. Little close up of the rear end. For you guys like that like seeing those rear ends there, right? And yeah, there's the Orion speed control. But yeah, so that heatsink I thought was a pretty cool addition, that I put on there because a lot of the way that makes me enjoy this hobby is just the way these cars look, and just knowing that wing. I know I'm not going to see it when it's moving, the wing going up and down, but I just thought it was cool that it was independent of that suspension. So this is the Serpent F110 SF4, all right? And I think they're actually on sale right now on Serpent's website. So go there and grab one, if you can. So there you go. Right? Just a little quick video on my only, well, no, it is not my only one. I actually have an X-ray that that I another X-ray that I got used from a racer. It's a cool thing about buying stuff from racers. They tend to get rid of them fairly cheaply, so then you can do whatever you want, with that, and not worry that it costs so much. But that's it. That's all I got for you. And with that, God bless you. God bless America. God bless the troops. Amen.